Warning: the Chaotic Culture Podcast is a program for mature audiences. The language and content presented in this podcast is of a mature nature that some audiences may not find suitable. Viewer and listener discretion is advised.
Embrace the culture, blaze the doja, grab your loved ones and bring them closer. Extra, extra, read the poster, the KKP is taking over. Sleeping on me, better smell the Folgers. I've been razor sharp since the Motorola. Off for O, like the cover Oprah. Popping bottles, feet all in the sofa. It's a celebration, though the times is hard. It's raining blessings, give it up to God. Chaotic culture, the greatest pod. With Ked the Pro, the one in charge, but it's a celebration. Times is hard, it's raining blessings, give it up to God. Chaotic culture, the greatest pod. With Ked the Pro, the one in charge.
We're living in a chaotic culture. 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 Oh, we're living in a chaotic culture. 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 Oh, we're living in a chaotic culture. 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 Oh, we're living in a chaotic culture. We're living in a chaotic culture. We're living in a chaotic culture. We're living in a chaotic culture.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast, the pod where chaos rules and black culture is elevated and embraced. This podcast will deep dive into modern black culture and how millennials and Gen Z can navigate the crazy parts from finances, music, black business highlights, home ownership, HBCUs, sports, black nerddom, anime, wrestling, and we cover all that and everything in between. If it happens to deal with black culture, we are going to cover it. Live from the 7-5, I am the host and the creator of the Chaotic Culture Podcast, your boy Ked the Pro, aka the Calculated Millennial, the Cutlass Diamond, aka don't be pushing on my buttons in my cutlass unless you cutting, aka your favorite toxic adjacent king, aka Chaotic Ked, Ked the Closer, whatever else you want to call me, KJ even. Why not? The 843 is me, but VA is where I stay. Always chaotic, never toxic. Most days. Back again, once again, with your favorite black culture highlights and black culture shenanigans. Of course, joining me today is the squad. Of course, we are going to start with the newest member of our crew here, Miss Sappy. Please go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, it's your girl Sappy. I ain't got no AKAs or heys, but it's your girl Sappy, and we're gonna come back with you with some great information and some facts. Okay, no fiction.
Word, AKAs and heys. I kind of like that kind of flows off the tongue really well. So
hey, you might have to keep that now.
Bars.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
She really should. All right, next.
Wait, hold on. Not to cut you off. I see what you did there. I'm thinking too hard, but just think on it and we're gonna talk about it.
Oh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you know, you know.
Alrighty then. All right. Next, of course, we're introducing my first host that joined us on the pod. Lawrence, since you already talking, man, go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Law, aka Lawrence, aka Smurda. Yeah, just yay. It's good to be back. I've had a lot of life updates since the last time we've talked, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my introduction, but we're gonna get into that. It's good to be back.
Glad to have you back, brother. And finally, of course, the first lady of the pod to ever join this, Miss Nasa. Please go ahead and introduce yourself, ma'am.
Y'all already know what is goody. It's your girl Nasa, the queen, aka Tony Noir, the female Picasso. Thank you and GBGBO, okay? Good vibes only. Y'all already know I'm coming to you and coming for you from the 303, the 5280. So yeah, how y'all doing? How y'all been?
We're doing good. That actually is a good segue into our mental health check. So I've been doing good this week. These last couple of weeks, I finally got help at work. I'm not stressed. I don't have all of that workload on top of my shoulders. It's now spread out evenly between branch manager, myself, and a new guy that we got in the building who was actually an assistant manager beforehand. So yeah, things have actually been pretty smooth. I've been able to get to the gym more often, been able to work out. I've been eating better, of course, is obvious. So I've been doing a lot to focus on my physical health and as well as my mental health. Praying more, getting back into reading my Bible. So I've been doing really good this week. How's everybody else been?
That's mad kosher. I love to hear it. Um, I guess I'll segue into that. Me, on the other hand, life has hit me hard. So, just a brief synopsis. I injured myself at work. I've been out of work since August. It's now September, still not at work. And the season decided to go ahead and change. So I'm gonna need a sunlight vacation here in the next 2 3 weeks or something because your boy been going through it.
I
Been in
feel
the
it. I feel
crib,
it.
feeling like a bum because I haven't been able to be at work. But it's with, I guess, protocol. I guess God telling me to slow down and take my health serious because yeah. But outside of that, been trying to keep a positive mindset. I went and seen my family this past weekend. We had a family reunion. I don't know if y'all saw that on my gram, but yeah, saw family. I got to turn up with my cousins for the first time. Ooh, boy. I
Mhm.
thought it's always different when you get to turn up with your cousins and your family, if y'all understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, man.
So, but
Gotta take
hey,
that walk.
yeah, oh
Okay.
no. So look, I've been on the walk like the last 5 years, but like when it come down to like being amongst the family and taking that walk, who we? Everybody looking at you like, mm-hmm.
Mm.
They're like, look, I'm grown.
No, that's real, man.
But
It's real. And
outside of all of that, it's just been one of those growing pain type situations. I got another couple weeks before I get cleared to go back to work, and just trying to gear myself and put myself in the mind frame and mindset to go back and facilitate that. But other than that, I've been good.
That's
all
good.
right, all right, it's good to hear. Anybody else?
I'll go. I'll go. I think I have been doing pretty well. I've kind of been on um the level of self-awareness that I've kind of gained is interesting. I've noticed that I'm kind of getting into the space of really just trying to focus on myself because I've noticed that I've had a tendency of just overfeeling, pouring into others and not really pouring into myself. So that's really kind of been my main focus as of lately, and just kind of like building up my self esteem, building up my confidence, and discipline. And I think that's really important. um, searching for therapy, and again, I still suggest anybody should get into therapy because it's one of those beneficial things.
Absolutely.
Um, but that's just kind of where my mindset has been. It's just like really pouring into me, and then if I'm able to pour into others once my cup has been over full. So that's where I'm at.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Love
as
to
we
hear
say
it.
on this podcast, yeah, just continue to seek therapy. Find a therapist if you can, of course. If you can't, do what you got to do to feel good about yourself. I literally just got off of the Collective Cafe. Shout out to GB of Worst Generation Pod and Anime After Dark, and shout out to Moody Senpai. They host this thing called the Collective Cafe. Usually it was bi-weekly, but now it's kind of like once every month. And I literally had to, well, not had to, but I went up on the stage and I actually talked about, how I got hit with that anxiety attack back in May and how I just had to slow down on some things because I felt that God was telling me, hey, chill, man. You pushing yourself too hard and you don't want to burn yourself out. So definitely I definitely believe in seeking therapy. Of course, at the time I cannot, or because, when I got demoted, funds were tight, but now I'm getting back to a place where funds are right back where they need to be. So, with that in mind, Sappy, how have you been?
I've been pretty good. Like, I've had a lot of work the last couple of weeks. So now that everything is done and everything's been submitted, I kind of got some downtime. So your girl caught up on some sleep. Okay. Sleep.
Facts.
I don't
Hey.
care what no one says. Sleep is not a luxury. It is
Facts.
Yes.
It is a necessity. That is
if you know, you know.
Facts.
But,
She's spitting right now.
If you know, you know.
Bars. If you know, you know. But I did get to go to a wedding yesterday, so your girl was all tears, but you know, I actually had some clarity and some rest, so I'm actually doing pretty good.
Hey, one thing for certain, two things for sure. If your body don't tell you to slow down, God gonna tell you to slow down. And
Yes.
if not one or the other, both of them at the same
Both
time.
Both of them
and
at
you're gonna
the
be
same damn time.
and you be
Crash
sitting there
and
feeling
burn.
crazy. You know what I'm saying? So
Y'all
like
speaking facts
again,
right now.
with everything that's been going on, like I like again, you know, and it's crazy because you don't think that like your family sense when something going on with you, but like when your mama just randomly texts you and be like, "Hey, I love you, hope everything all right," and you know that's when you at your lowest, it just do not but like bring them boohoo tears, like, like you know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's
like,
real though. Like, what she know
That's
that I
facts.
don't? What's going on?
like and it be off the random, like they be like, "Everything good? You all right?" Like, or they just randomly send you some bread, like you ain't know, but you knew.
Man,
You
you
know what I'm
ain't
saying?
speaking nothing but facts, bro.
That's why,
Nothing.
like, the older I've gotten, I've realized, like, the term and coinage, like, it takes a village. Like, even when you think you by yourself, you're not by yourself. And those that truly care, like, they can feel it when something not right. Especially, you know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
absolutely.
And,
Even your
and
friends.
it's spooky, and it's spooky season. Hello.
Hello.
Hey. So like it'd be spooky because it'd be like you be sitting there and like you just trying to figure things out one step at a time, you know, be patient, don't pray and worry. But like, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to pray and not worry, especially like when it comes to things like making sure your lights stay on. Or
That's
you know what
real,
I'm saying,
bro.
having groceries in your fridge. Like it's been so much that I've encountered in these last month and a half that like has truly like helped me to not only gain a sense of self, but to truly like lock in and just understand that it's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right, man. So with that in mind, guys, I'm glad that we had this first session as far as mental health, because for those who are tuning in for the first time, we are always going to talk about our mental health first, and what it means to us and how we're doing, to be sure that we're just all, you know, doing good and hopefully, you know, on the right track. And sometimes there may be days where we're not, but at the end of the day, you know that everything is going to be okay. And I think that's the important thing, is that if you have that village to surround you, and if you have the therapy that you're seeking, just know that, you know, there's always going to be a brighter day. And I think that's the important thing about this. Moving on, the first thing we got to get out the way, guys, we lost another legend, and it's crazy to hear that. I don't know if you can actually hear this. And of course it's not playing because it's going through my speaker, so never mind. But yeah, this one kind of hit a little heavy. So for those who don't know, Coolio passed, and that one kind of hit me like a ton of bricks, because for those who grew up in the early 90s, you knew how much Coolio meant to the culture. Dude always had some positive raps, and we all know, everybody knows Gangsta's Paradise, but
Yeah.
but Fantastic Voyage was another one. He also did Keenan and Kel's theme song, for those who remember that show.
That was my introduction to him.
And he also had some other hits on there, like See You When You Get There, Something New, or 1 2 3 4. The man really was a staple in hip hop, and he also did some voice work as well. So if you've ever watched Futurama, that's Kwanzaa. He was also featured on an episode of The Nanny. He's done a whole lot, man. And I talked about this multiple times on how a lot of rappers don't live to see a very old age, and 59 is still relatively young. You know, he didn't get to 60. He didn't get to those older ages where he can sit down and, you know, watch his grandkids or anything like that. Like it's really heartbreaking to see, man. And it doesn't look like there was any foul play. It just, they said cardiac arrest, which is a heart attack. So that's another reason why I always try to tell people, you know, watch your health, because your health is really important. And when your heart goes, that can be pretty much it. So
Yeah, I was gonna ask what the cause was, but like cardiac
yeah.
arrest, that's as simple as diet, you know.
Mhm.
If you're not, putting the right things in your body to see it move forward, it's gonna affect you adversely.
Yep.
I feel like it's been a lot of situations like that outside of the recreational things that may have or may not have been done. But it's one of them things where you again take care of your health. Put that pork down. I know we all love the bacon. We love, some people might love the pork chop, pig feet, pigtails, ham hock in the greens. You gotta put that stuff down, man. You gotta think about what's gonna keep you here for the next 10, 15, 20. You know what I mean?
So it's about moderation.
Moderation, man.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I still eat pork, but it's like very, very, very rare. Like it'll be once, I don't know, maybe once a month, if even that. And I only eat it like
has
1 year.
everybody's diet changed, like what they eat? Because I know for me, my diet has changed, and I'm not a big fan of red meat. Like, don't get me wrong.
Well, people's palate could change too. So as you get older, your palate starts to change. So the food that you used to like before, you may not like anymore. And it doesn't have to do with the composition of the food or the taste of the food. It's just your body is ever changing. So what you like is changing as well.
Right.
That's facts.
I was gonna say I can't eat cap. My fault. I was saying I can't, like, I'll eat a burger every now and again, but I can't do burgers 5 days a week. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know who can do burgers 5 days a week. If you're doing burgers 5 days a week,
you would be surprised. But
I'll switch it up. I might do a turkey burger here, or like, I've been dabbling in what is it, the whatnot burger or the plant-based burger. I've been trying those. But outside of that, like, it's strictly like chicken, salmon, like the occasional steak here and there, and that's like occasional here and there.
Right. That's real, man. I've cut back on a lot of red meat myself. I never used to eat like every day, but it used to be like a routine part of my diet. Not it'll be like beef here and there, or a burger this week, or steak the next, and now it's like it's very rarely. There'll be times where I'll be in the mood for a steak and I'll get one, but it probably be like once every blue moon. Same with a burger. I literally just had a burger yesterday for the first time in maybe like a month and a half. So I usually just stick to the chicken and the turkey. I cannot eat seafood, unfortunately, so I can't partake in seafood. So I really just have to stick with bird and the occasional beef and the occasional pork. And I really mean occasional, like in layman's terms, like it'll be once in a while, but then afterwards I go straight back to bird. So yeah, my palate has definitely changed. Not to say that I don't like beef anymore. It's just as I got older, as I'm getting older, I'm taking into account, what I can and cannot do, and what I can and cannot consume. So as Sappy said, everything in moderation. So I've just definitely have been changing my diet on that. It's unfortunate what happened to Coolio, man. I don't know if it was a diet thing or if it was anything outside of that, but definitely, man, it's a lot of rappers again who don't live to see past their 60s, and unfortunately we just lost another legend. So definitely rest in peace to Coolio. Prayers and condolences going out to his family and friends.
Absolutely.
It's rough, man. It's rough out here. which kind of brings up the next subject that I want to talk about. Now, these are two rappers who I didn't have like a lot of information about. I knew about Key Riches, like the work that he's at least done outside, like in Compton. I didn't know a lot about his music, but I had heard his name a few times. So hearing about him being gunned down was crazy because that man, from what everybody's been telling me, has been nothing but positive. So he's been a positive part of his community. He was trying to help the kids. He was trying to help people who are incarcerated get back into, the regular flow of life. He was promoting programs. It's like to see something like that happen to somebody who is that good natured and wants to help out his people, that really, really irks me because it shows that the streets don't care, man. Like you could be doing like the most positive stuff in the world and they are literally out here trying to get you for maybe the smallest reasons. So definitely
it's really envy. If anything,
Yeah.
there's a lot of
That's a
that-
constant trend. It is a constant
Yeah.
trend. A lot of people are dying, and it's at the hands of people who are just jealous of what they have.
Yep.
Right.
Envy and jealousy. I was gonna say, who is he signed to?
I don't even know if he was like signed because I think he was independent. But the thing about Key Riches is that he was kind of trying to do the same thing that Nip was out here doing, and y'all see what happened to Nipsey. Like jealousy and envy really has taken a hold of Cali out there. I don't know what's going on in Cali. I don't know what has seeped into the cracks of the gangs and whatnot, but it just seems that niggas is really jealous of rappers out here and they willing to take everything out, man. And it's really, really crazy. Like if we just saw the update on PNB Rock, this dude, the dude who pulled the trigger was 17 years old and his dad was the getaway driver.
Yeah.
And it's
His
like
father
like,
was
that's
a
the crazy
getaway
part.
driver. His mama was
look-
the apprentice. Like,
bro, y'all did all of that for a couple of
Suspect.
chains.
A whole family full of nefarious activities and
Yeah,
affairs.
bro. Crazy. Fucking
That's
crazy,
not
man.
funny, but the fact
all of
that
them was really
mom,
trying to hit a
dad,
lick
and
and
son.
then ended up in cuffs. All of them was really trying to hit a lick.
You dig, like, and I mean, again, it's the crabs in the barrel effect. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I see him up and he's doing what he got to do. Let me see how I can get my slice of it without actually interacting with him, actually trying to build with him. Like, that's really what it boiled down to. And that's what I mean, you got to think about it. They don't call it the Wild Wild West for no reason. Like, you were taking a risk by going out west. You know what I'm saying? And that's for any and everybody who decides to go out there. You either have to have some form of capital to be established going out there, or you just going out there on a hope and a prayer that everything gonna work out in your favor. You know what I'm saying? It's no reason. Like the homeless rate out west is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It's an expensive place to be. You gotta have something for yourself going out there. And a lot of people try to take it as, oh, I'm going to New York or to pursue my dreams. Nah, you go out west trying to pursue hopes and dreams.
With no money.
With no
You gotta
money.
have a plan, big dog.
Yeah, look.
You're gonna be left ass out every time.
Hey, and Tony made some good points in the last episode. He said you got to stay away from certain areas in Cali. I don't know what's going on in the water in Cali. Like right now, it's always been kind of wild out there, but it seems like as of late, it's been on some other shit. So, it's really so hard to see somebody so young in the rap game who was so promising and definitely wanted to help build his community suffer something like this, man. So rest in peace to that, man. Now for the other person that passed away not too long ago, now her name is Lotta Cash Desto. Now, again, was not really privy to a lot of her music, but the one thing that I heard was that she was found by Lil Uzi Vert, and as
they
far
said
as
she carried herself like us, bro. And I say bro for a reason. Like they said, she had a lot of bravado in herself. She was one of them where like she bumping elbows with the likes. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm not saying what happened was what it was supposed to be, but when you got other artists commenting and saying that, oh, you should have stayed in your place and not acted like a nigga, Well, I'm just saying.
I feel like
I'm-
nothing is warranted dying at this point. Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing is warranted for death, but that don't mean death won't come calling.
Touche.
Yeah, man. It's kind of crazy because I think this is the first time that I've seen a female MC get shot and killed. There might have been some that have probably in the past, I don't know, but this is one that like this is the first time I've heard of a female. And I don't want to use the term female, but saying woman rapper is kind of, I think it's the terminology, but this is the first time I've seen a woman artist like get hemmed up the way that she did. She, and matter of fact, it was out in Houston, and y'all know Houston that night get busy, so it's really sad to hear that. But also, to her point, I found out who her distribution deal was through.
Empire, huh?
Empire.
Mhm.
Okay.
Something about them
And
stars.
what did I say?
Empire.
Conspiracy.
What's going on with Empire?
Conspiracy.
Because everybody on the roster is getting got. Like,
I don't know.
hella people from the roster is getting got. So I'm just like,
Yeah.
Conspiracy.
what's in the air? Like,
I don't know, but as I said the last episode, yo, if you were an upcoming hip hop artist, do not sign the Empire. I don't care if it's like to the label or to a distribution deal, stay away, because we discussed how they were taking out life insurance policies on the artists. Do not sign the Empire.
I think this really goes just for record companies in general. Like I feel like when you sign to a label, they're really just giving you a loan. That money that you have is not really you. The money that artists have is not really theirs. And so like once the tours go in and once the money comes in and like the jewelry and stuff, honey, you gotta pay that back. And so if you ain't got the money to pay it back, if you ain't got the money to pay it back, they gonna make sure they get you. They gonna get their money.
They gonna get their get back, but
they gonna get their get back.
With that being said, like you got to think about it. You know, you get signed to a label for $3 million. That ain't giving you no life insurance. That's not giving you no health insurance. That's not giving you no dental, vision, none of that.
Yeah, everything comes out of that $3 million.
Exactly.
And who you pay for their services also comes out of that $3 million.
Exactly. So you got to think about the latter sense. So if you get signed to a contract and you are supposed to put out at least 4 to 5 albums in that time frame, you got studio time to think about. You got music videos and visuals. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? Thank you. So like you thinking, oh, I just got $3 million. Let me go and get me a bust down rollie. All right, that's taking you down to 2.5 right there. That's 500,000 you just went and threw towards some jewelry. Okay, yeah, image upkeep, but image upkeep not gonna promote no record sale. You feel me? And especially if what you putting out ain't of quality, you feel me? We live in a microwave generation, and the same way you can drop today and be hot on TikTok or whatever platform today, you can be lost in a week, you feel me? Because somebody else came in and had the blueprint already mapped out and planned out. So again, to all the aspiring artists, I tell y'all now,
get your ducks in a row. Get your ducks in a row.
Your best option as any artist is to go independent. Granted, it's maybe
or stay independent. Yeah,
stay independent. It's probably a longer route, but it's more
very long.
It's maybe longer.
Get a chance to rap,
but you have but you also have a more rewarding. It's more rewarding. Why? Because that money that you have, that is owned to you. You do not have to give it back to somebody else. You don't have to
own your masters.
You're not playing Russian roulette with your life. And that's a lot of the times why a lot of artists, they have to have endorsements to try to make a balance, because that money that they got from the record label, that has to go back. So once that goes back, they're pretty much left with nothing. So it's just like honestly, as an artist, your best option is to really go independent, because it's a safer route to go. Okay. I'm not saying that there are some record labels that don't agree with having their artists own their masters, because there are some record labels that do. But the ones that don't, aka Empire, Yeah.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
That's actually a pretty good segue into this topic. Now, I have a couple topics that I want to talk about. Of course, we got to discuss Rihanna headlining the Super Bowl, and we got to discuss the problem with a certain DJ, quote unquote. But before we get to that, I think this is a really great time to actually talk about the development of artists and why labels and just in general we need to bring A&R back, and we need to actually bring
Bring
artist
it back with
development back.
Ace. Make
Yes,
haste.
yes, because so the reason why I wanted to bring this up, and Sappy actually she made a good point to remind me about this. For those who are aware, there is a young female MC by the name of Ice Spice, who is now out there. Now, for the first time I heard the name, I thought like, what, did one of the Spice Girls have a kid or something, and she's an artist now? The fuck is going on? Excuse my language, but
Nope.
that's what I literally thought, and then I was like, oh no, wait, she from the Bronx, okay.
You thought we was feeling you?
And for those who have not heard that song, yes, that is a song that has blown up on TikTok and across social media. Yeah, it's really crazy because the way that this song blew up so fast, as well as I think another song that she had dropped, which was, it's kind of garbage, but anyway, the way that this song kind of blew up on social media and how fast it blew up, it literally kind of jump started her career, and he did it really, really, really quickly because I don't know if she was on like the independent circuit in New York or whatnot, if she was really doing it like that, or if she just decided that she was going to drop one or two songs, and now all of a sudden
Well,
she's
according
viral and
to the
famous.
socials, folks said that she has released stuff previously.
I was
Okay.
gonna say,
So I'm
I
not saying
followed
this
her
is not like
on my fault. I followed her on Twitter, way before the Munch song came out.
Okay.
So
All right,
like
so
I knew of her. I mean, pretty face, ginger, black woman, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I still don't know what her demographic is. I haven't inquired or went to search, but like I knew of her. And then to find out like a couple weeks ago, she done blew up and went viral and all this other stuff. Like a part of these a part of signing people to your label, you got to media train them. No funny. Like,
oh my God, please.
you
It's
feel
the
me?
lack
Absolutely.
of media training. It's like simple things. When you are interviewing, there are certain ways that you answer questions. There are certain ways that you present yourself. And I'm all for you being real and being open and
Transparent.
honest about who you are. However, there is a way that you portray it when you are being interviewed. If I
You feel
cannot
me?
understand a word you are saying when you are being interviewed, you need to go back to the drawing board. Okay.
If you still
Facts.
that goddamn man,
Goddamn about goddamn. Like, you telling me
Boomhauer.
nobody sat
Facts.
there with you and was like, enunciate. I'm just saying.
Right.
And I feel
Yeah.
like the artist development is lacking because people are getting found so quickly on social media. Like, first of all, the
TikTok.
talent scouting is already out the window because it's so easy to go on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Folks are doing the work for you. They're making sponsored ads on social media. They're doing cover songs. They're releasing their own music through streaming services. So the way to seek out artists, you don't have to go to the clubs to find artists. You don't have to go to the hole in the wall joints to
How
find,
it used to be.
you know, how it
Right.
used to be. Now
You
it's
feel me? Like you actually had
literally
to
a
go
click
out
away.
and print out
You have to
50
travel.
CDs.
You
know
have
what I'm
to
saying?
hear. You
You
know what
had
I'm
to
saying?
make
You had to go
50.
to
You had to make 50 CDs
the bootleg
and be on
CDs
and be on the
and
corner
ship
Pass
talking
them
it
out
about
on the
to
trunk, from the trunk of your car.
you know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it was harder. Now it's a little bit easier with technology. I mean, with everything, technology is going to make stuff a lot easier. But I feel like these record companies, because it's so easy for them to find people, they're just like, okay, well, these artists, they can figure stuff out on the way. We're trying to propel, we're trying to catch this momentum. Like, they already got 10,000 followers on social media. Let's push them out into the crowd. And hopefully it works out. If it don't, then we got 30 people that we found on social media that we can replace them with.
Yeah, they're trying to cash that check now.
First, they trying to cash a check as quick as possible.
But you know, that's what we said on the latter episode. Like it's a microwave generation. So like if I can get something out that's hot and that is gonna grab the attention of a few thousand real quick, all right, let's put it out. And then, you know, these companies are just coming in and just picking them up from the point of their social media hype. They're not picking them up off of the hype of their actual lyricists or their artistry. You know what I'm saying? They're just picking them up off the strength of, oh, you was popping on TikTok this week. Let's see what's going. Now,
and that is
I'll
so
say
sad. That is so sad
though,
that like that I find that to be so sad that like people that's the generation that we're in right now, where it's just like you said, like, it's just this microwavable. There's no substance to it. It's just like, oh, you got a hit? Okay, 10-4, let's go. Like, but
shout out to Glow. Let's go.
Hey, let's be clear.
She's the positive of that.
Let's not talk about
all right, yeah.
I was gonna say we'll talk about Glow in a second because Glow was actually like out here doing that shit like long before.
She is a success story to the fact. Like she blew up on TikTok and she didn't stop. Like
but
she
there's
got
a lot of artists who actually took the positive and they were able to capitalize off of that in a great way. Like look at Doja Cat. When Mood came out, everybody was like, what the fuck?
Yes.
So look at, like, I'm talking about she's selling out stadiums. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
However,
I can't.
There's artists.
I can't accept that she let the white man say nigga. I'm sorry. Shout out to Kendrick.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
However,
that's my hot take. I'm sorry.
I just find it terrible that, you know, they're trying to thrust these artists so quickly that they have them doing festivals and all these concerts, and they're on stage looking a mess. Like, if you are gonna rap with the track, know your lyrics, know your timing of your track, like practice. That's all I'm asking.
It's crazy that you mentioned that because we saw the clip of Ice Spice at Rolling Loud, and it's like the entire thing was just a complete mess. I'm like, yo, you weren't rapping along with your track.
The track
was out rapping you. And then she had no kind of stage presence whatsoever. It's like,
where's her stylist?
Yeah, but the makeup was terrible. The wig was all over the place.
Artists like Wayne and Jada. Well, no, Jada is a different breed. He showed that he can go and rap anything from beginning to end, no words. Okay. You feel me? But like, do we give artists like Wayne, who has so much like catalog, a pass for not being able to remember their lyrics? Or artists like 2 Chainz, you feel me? Where they Snoop Dogg.
He's already proved himself. Now that it's on you if you decide to go to a Wayne concert 30 years after this man has performed this song and expect for him to perform it right. That's on you. Now, granted, I just went to a Wu-Tang concert, Wu-Tang Nas, and Busta Rhymes came. Busta Rhymes was doing that song that he did with what's that little boy's name? Chris Brown. The one where he rapping super fast. Mm-hmm. My boy was missing beats, missing words, and he was mumbling. And I'm you know what I'm saying? But first of all, that song requires breath. Okay, working from the diaphragm. Okay, I knew he wasn't gonna be able to do it, but it's the nostalgia of it. You know what I'm saying? Like we know that years and years ago he could do it, but we got artists who the song came out last week. Still fucking up. Mm-hmm. And I can give you a prime example. I went to Something in the Water. Tyler the Creator was performing. Yes. The new song that just came out. Tyler the Creator, 21 Savage, and Pharrell. Cash in, cash out.
Okay.
Pharrell had to feed my boy his lyrics because he could not remember it. First of all, to me, 21 Savage has terrible stage presence.
He does.
Absolutely terrible.
Pharrell was feeding Tyler, or he was feeding 21?
Nah, he was feeding 21. Nah, Tyler 21. Always gonna have it.
Okay? Tyler knows lyrics.
I would say, but like, I ain't, I'm never giving anybody a pass for their bullshit, because at the end of the day, you take your artistry as you take it. But like, you gotta think about it. 21 done been through a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? He is Sir Savage for a reason. Like,
yeah. And as far as stage presence, when it comes to Savage, I think like the kind of hip hop that he makes, it doesn't require him to do a lot, but I wish he would have done more. Because
like
it just seemed
you
like
just
he was
made that point
uninterested
though.
at times,
Exactly. You
and
made
that's
that point though. He
mhm.
doesn't do high energy music. It's not like he out here jumping and running from the side stage to the left stage, like to the right, to the left. Like he not doing all that. So my guy, why you rapping to a track? You not out of breath. What you need a track for?
Right. Well,
My guy, why you need the lyrics behind you? You can do this on your own, I promise you.
no, that's absolute facts. Also, just to comment, to circle back to what we're talking about as far as like these labels, we see that once upon a time they used to actually take their time with these artists. They'll see them out on the street. They probably were performing at clubs or on different stages around the areas and whatnot. They take them under the wing. They'll have someone there to actually prep them and show them how to perform and show them how to do their makeup, or show them exactly what techniques to use when holding the mic, or how to engage with the audience. And a lot of these labels are not interested in doing that anymore. Like their A&R departments have completely dissipated, and it's just like,
Gone.
oh, okay, the artist
Absolutely.
now has to have the responsibility of performing on their own before they get signed, and actually learning these things beforehand, so that way when they get signed, it's just a matter of, okay, put this out now, like right now. And we see that happening with Ice Spice. Apparently, she was performing in some club in Houston, and I'm like, well, wait a minute now. She already performing in a club in Houston, and the audience was not
did you hear what
engaged.
she did?
What?
She had prior engagements already set up before she got in
I know what you're talking
stardom.
about. Go ahead.
And Homegirl canceled all of them and was like, either y'all pay me $10,000 more or the thing is canceled. Now I feel like if you already had something signed with the contract, you got to fulfill that.
Yeah.
After the fact, okay, y'all, yesterday's price is not today's price. This is how much it is now. If you want to sign, if you want me to do, at your venue. But she canceled everything and was
she was coming from New
y'all
York,
gotta raise
though.
the price.
She was coming from New York. I mean,
business is business. You got to your business sign my name.
Gonna handle your business.
I'm saying it from this aspect.
Period.
So
you
if she was
handle business, period.
But I get it. Yeah, handle business, period. But like, if you already are coming from a point where you already have been taking care of your bookings, you doing shows and whatnot locally, you know what I'm saying? You already have a presence of what it is that you are going to want and need moving forward. So you get signed to a label, that's only giving you another, strengthening back. Am I saying she's right for canceling her prior engagements that were already? No, she's stupid. She's a dummy. She should have kept her goddamn, like, that's more coins to the bag that you were trying to ensue. But what I'm saying is, like, just because you already have been established or are becoming established doesn't mean that you can switch up once you now have a true backing factor to your artistry. And that's really what I was getting at. Like, I'm not saying she was right or wrong. Like, I just say at the end of the day, if you are truly business minded, you don't go and cancel out things that were already set in stone. That's like,
yes.
I'm an upcoming artist and I get booked for Hampton Homecoming to open up for another artist. You feel me? I'm not going to cancel that because that's a guaranteed check. You know what I'm saying? Unless, you know what I'm saying, like, Hampton go through some catastrophic event where they got to cancel Homecoming. But, like, if I'm booked to perform for Homecoming, I'm there jumping on speakers and some more, like, just like Uzi did.
Yes. And to follow up with that, it's just, as Sabby said, yesterday's price is not today's price, but if you honor that contractual obligation, they're going to ask for you back, especially if you perform well and if you've generated a lot of revenue for them. On top of the fact that if you keep continuing to get bigger, yeah, they're going to want to pay you more when you come back. But if you go ahead and cancel that contract, not only have you just lost out on a bag, but you've also ruined that relationship. So now they're just gonna be like, she's trying to perform here again? Nah, because she canceled on us wanting 10,000 more racks before she even had a chance to prove herself. So nah,
but that really wasn't even her. Like, that was her team.
It was her team. It was really her team.
That was her team.
I don't want to put that on her.
It's not working in her benefit. That's the thing.
That's what I'm
make sure the
saying.
people
Like,
on your team
have
is
somebody
working
that's in
for
your
your
team for
benefit.
longevity. You know what I'm saying? You're not just
They're
out
working for
here.
you. Like, it's your
Oh,
team. You oversee this team. They're working in your best interest. So if they want to do that and they think you're gonna make that money back, by all means, I hope she makes that money back. But that was already money set in stone for money that may not come.
hello.
Exactly. And on top of that, you could have asked like for future dates, or if you're doing this tour right now for the little 3 songs that you got out there for future bookings, you could be like, okay, now we can book for 14K. But we're gonna honor this one that's at 4K. That would have
You
been
feel me?
the smarter decision to go with, like, okay, let's honor that, and then any future bookings that we get, increase the price, because now we see where we're going, where we're at, and we see what she's worth. But her team, I don't know. Her team just, I think her and her team is a little big headed right now, because
They
outside
got
of
the
this
hype behind
song,
them.
if she doesn't like actually produce past this particular song, it's like, what was all of that for?
How
And
long? How long is she gonna be able to call motherfuckers munchies?
I don't know.
But she's
I don't
also
know.
in between a rock and a hard place, because she also has to make sure that she is putting out. If she decides to relax and go in a corner for a bit, her time her 15 minutes may be up,
Yep, you're right.
and then she just missed out. So I understand, but I feel like if you know you're going to be an artist, prepare yourself ahead of time. If you know that there's something that you know that this is going to hit, this is going to hit, and sometimes it doesn't work, but if you know this is going to hit, this is what's going to take me to stardom. Prepare yourself. Go to training classes. Please do vocal training classes if you are a
Mm-hmm.
singer. Like, what the hell?
Man, look,
Okay,
I know
do
people
vocal
with
training,
hard
do media
drives of
training.
music that has been unreleased, and you know what I'm saying, I've listened to it and been like, yo, this shit bop, like, but that's just me. But I know for a fact if they were to drop it or do a snippet, it's gonna do numbers. And they don't drop it because at the end of the day, they need to have something that's going to help not carry them, but keep them in the limelight. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying you got to sit here and have a top 50 Billboard song every 2 months, but you got to have something. Okay, you might drop something today and it break the top 100, and then you have some, or like you drop an album or a project and it's still in the buzz a couple weeks, and then you drop another hot banger, and you know what I'm saying? Keep yourself relevant, but don't ever think that you are going to be solid or solidified off of one song, because I'm telling you, just like, you know what I'm saying, they sit here and call them motherfuckers, oh, you thought I was feeling you? That ain't got much. Not, no, that's not going to last forever. It's going to get played out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Take it back to 14 when Young Thug and I count 6 shots. Busting out the band up. That song got overplayed.
Right. But Thug was able to keep himself relevant, and T.I. was already established. So
you feel me? So
yeah.
like,
But I feel
when
like
it come
that
down
also
to
goes to payola, because if your record label know that you got a song that's popping right now, they're gonna pay everybody to play your song because they know it's popping.
Mm-hmm.
The more it gets played on, the more it gets put on playlists on Spotify, the more it gets put on Apple
the
Music.
radio,
That's more streams. The radio, it's more streams. It means more cash coming in the record label's pocket. So they're gonna do that regardless. So if a song is popular, you notice a song that's popular on TikTok, all of a sudden gets played a lot on the radio. It all of a sudden gets played a lot on playlists. Like, there was a song, that Loose End song that just randomly became popular on TikTok. Can you stand the rain? You can't stop the rain. It was
you can't
popular on
stop the
TikTok.
rain.
All of a sudden, radio stations is playing these songs again. I'm like, where was this coming from? It's because it's getting popular. They know a lot of people want to listen to it, so they
Shout
know they
out
can
to
get more
BMF
streams from
though.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to 50. He was on to something when he put that in there. He knew what he was doing. Again,
Listen, it was even on Atlanta, so they know
yeah,
what they're
like,
doing.
yeah. But it's just
They
like,
know what they're
again,
doing.
you can't stop the rain unless you try to forcibly stop it, and unless you are tight with Mother Nature, it's gonna keep flowing.
Well,
But yeah, A&R is a lost breed nowadays.
Yep.
They just putting out quantity over quality, and
Oh, amen to
sometimes
that.
sometimes the quality isn't worth the quantity.
It's not. But let's hope that certain artists who that there are artists in this generation who can maintain that longevity and have taken all the right steps so that way they can be the next long-standing thing. And that's all that we can hope for, because the way that it's looking now, it's like some of these artists, I'd be surprised if they last a whole year at this rate.
Who is the LeBron of the rap industry or just music industry, period?
That's
currently right now.
Outside of Drake and, you know what I'm saying, the main staples.
I would say outside of Drake, Kendrick, and J. Cole, I don't know, bro. Outside of those,
but I feel like they've already proved themselves.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Out of the people who have proven themselves, who is the upcoming LeBron or the upcoming Kobe or the Ja or the Zion of the music industry?
You saying the people who haven't proved themselves yet?
Like, correct. Out of this generation, like, who's the next man up? Like, who's going to be the next one to carry the mantle?
Facts. Like, who's going to continue burning the torch after the likes of Drake and J. Cole and Kendrick decide to retire?
Yeah, that's
scary, right?
I don't know. I can't.
Honestly, the only reason why I'm gonna say this person is because he's starting to get Grammys now. People start noticing, but I will say Tyler the Creator.
Okay. I think, but I know Tyler's been doing it for a long time, but I think
he has been doing it for a while. Yonkers and She, like, granted, those are just some oddball ass tracks, but
very oddball.
Oddball ain't the word. But
the visuals for those alone, man, what? But Tyler always been different, so I feel like Tyler is always going to be a pivotal person for those that can relate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Maybe Jid. I think.
Look,
I know Jid is
y'all gonna crucify me for this one, but I'm gonna say Youngboy. He got these little niggas.
I will agree.
He got these little niggas in
but
a fucking
he also
yoke.
gotta let his temper. He gotta let his temper relax a little bit, because he's gonna be his own downfall. He's gonna be his own downfall. And you know who else?
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like, you're gonna have to slow down or nip snip.
You know who else I believe might actually have that title? Lil Baby.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, Lil Baby.
And I ain't gonna
very,
lie,
very consistent.
that man can perform his ass off. I'm not a fan of Lil Baby, but when I saw him at Something in the Water, I was like, that man is doing the damn thing.
We were watching in the back, and
incredible stage presence. He's able to engage with everybody. He, handing the mic to everybody so they could rap along with him and all that. So, like, he's doing it. He's doing what needs to be done.
You're absolutely right.
But then you turn around to the likes of like the Baby, or like somebody that's within that class of artists that came out at the time. Like,
outside the Baby came and fell off. He crashed and burned. He was the prime example of you are the cause of your own downfall.
The definition of get out of your own way, son.
You are in your own way.
It's not just that from like outside of his rapping, but his music in general has just been way too repetitive, and I think people got sick of it. To be,
you can say that about Lil Baby too.
Yeah, to a degree. I mean,
because if I hear it in a minute one more time, I'm probably gonna lose my shit. I've been in the loop, something in the loop. How can I win?
Fair point.
Like, it does sound the same, but again, that's the microwave generation we live in. Nursery rhyme music, things that are going to stick to your brain, have you constantly singing it, and you're like, okay, I gotta listen to it. That's another stream type. But that's again what we have. I'm not gonna say shaped our minds to accept, but that's what it is.
Yep. Yes, sir. I think it's a good time that we can probably go ahead and move on. We all know where how we feel about this, and we could talk about this for hours, but for the sake of time, of course, we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is, of course, it's really quickly, honestly. So Rihanna is going to be headlining the Super Bowl, and I think this is the first time that Rihanna has like performed in like what 6-7 years, so
if not longer.
Yeah, so I'm definitely hyped for that. I was told that the rumor was that initially the people at the NFL wanted Taylor Swift to perform, but she turned it down, and thank God she did, if that rumor is true, because I no offense to Taylor Swift, but I was not interested.
I mean, again, it's just one of them things. Again, you feel me? We put on a little clinic the last Super Bowl. You feel me? Mm-hmm. You had multiple greats grace that stage and performance. Like Super Bowl really makes or breaks your I don't want to say iconicism, but like that's kind of what it is. Like once you're an icon, you get the invitations for to do things of like Super Bowl or like other like Grammy nominated performances type situations. So like to be at the Super Bowl, Rihanna, she gonna have to put on a performance because she ain't put out no music recently, and that's what everybody has been looking for. Am
I'm
I
not gonna lie.
excited for her? Yeah.
I'm a little skeptical. I'm one of those
Thank
people
you.
that are very skeptical. And the only reason why I say that is because number one, it's been a very long time since she's performed. It's been. Do she even remember her own lyrics? You know, is she going to be able to perform to the best of her ability? And I will say, like a lot of the times that I've seen her perform, her performance hasn't been that big of a grand stage for her to be doing the Super Bowl. When you see Super Bowl performances, you see, I'm talking about big performances. You got people running from the left to the right of the stage. You got 30,000 dancers behind you. You doing grand performances. I have never seen Rihanna do a grand performance. So this would be the first time I see her do something like that. And I don't know if that's in her.
Unless she about to have a whole like skating ring set up so that she could do Ponder Replay like again.
That she's gonna have to do a whole dance hall thing and have like 50 Virgin Island dancers behind her. Like I feel like that it's something we've already seen from her too, though. So I'm like, what is she gonna do that's over the top that we've never seen before? That it's like, damn, we welcome Rihanna back.
I'm thinking all about the songs that I'm gonna hear back from her, like Umbrella, Ponder Replay, Work.
Mind you, she just had a baby, so is she gonna be able to do all of that?
Come on.
I mean, she better get herself together. I need her.
November, December. She got 4 months. She got 4 months.
From a woman's standpoint, y'all, she had a baby.
8 weeks.
She had a baby. Because y'all saw Homecoming. Look at Beyonce after she had them twins. Girl was struggling. And Beyonce does it on the regular.
She delivered.
But she also does it on the regular, and she hadn't stopped performing for that long.
I was gonna say, look, you can't argue with the Beehive. You can't argue with the Beehive.
I'm not arguing with the Beehive. I'm on the side of the Beehive. Beyonce did the damn thing. There was no big break in between her performances, even though she had a baby.
Do you think you would really be able to say to somebody who, again, defends the Beehive that she didn't put on one of the best performances of her life? You would have to fight tooth and nail to argue that point.
I'm saying that Beyonce did put on a big performance. I'm saying that is Rihanna going to be able to do something because Beyonce did the Super Bowl and she killed it. Is Rihanna going to be able to do the same performance that Beyonce did after having a baby, not performing for how many years? Not putting out music for how many years? Is she gonna be able to do it? And is it gonna be something worthwhile?
Facts. But again, I also do like to think on the caveat, like again, lesser two evils or good angel, bad angel. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to also compare what Beyonce has done to Rihanna. Rihanna is her own entity. She made and paved her own way. She just got to foot the bill.
That's what I'm saying. Is she going to be able to do that? I'm not saying I love Rihanna's music. I'm a Rihanna fan. She's done great performances, but I don't think she's done Super Bowl capable performances. And for her to do a Super Bowl capable performance after so long, I just don't think. I think she should have did something a little smaller before she decided to go on the Super Bowl. But that's just me.
Well, I mean,
gonna see.
As we say, she got 4 months to prove it. We gonna see.
Listen,
we gonna see.
I'm here for it. I want her to shut me the hell up. I'm ready to see
it.
Yep.
If there's anybody rooting in her corner, it's me.
Likewise. I'm ready to see her perform, and I'm ready to see what surprises that she will either bring on stage, whether it's, as you said, a whole bunch of Caribbean or Trinidadian dancers out, or if she brings some guest performances. I will say this: if she brings out A$AP Rocky, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
I hope the fuck she don't.
I hope she doesn't, but I'm just gonna say, like, if I see
Rocky
think they
have songs together,
I'm gonna laugh.
They have songs together.
They don't have a song together. I just know that they did a video together one time for Fashion Killer, but that's about it.
Okay, but even still, if you bring him out to do that, that's taken away from the point that you were supposed to be the headline. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
no,
Have you,
because a lot of artists do that. They'll bring out another artist they never had a song with just to perform, so they take up the time.
Yeah, look, man.
I mean, I get the point of passing time, but like I can see Drake, you know what I'm saying? You need to get done with work and come over.
I was
You know what
gonna
I'm
say
saying?
I don't know if her and Drake's relationship has come around again, but I mean it is what it is.
But again, for the he said it hasn't. But
Okay.
but for the purpose of like Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying? That would be a point to bring somebody out. You know, like you don't just bring out some random and like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I don't know.
no, you're absolutely right. And that would be a nice fit for Drake because I don't think Drake has performed at the Super Bowl yet. So if you got a chance to do that, that would be. I mean, granted, Drake has already proven himself; he has nothing else to prove. But if he does do that, that shows just how big of an artist he is and how big that song was. So I'm with you on there. Perhaps their relationship will be strictly business, and she decides to bring him out there for that one number. If they decide to go that route, but anyway,
Before
guys,
we go to the next topic, I do got one question though. How y'all feel about the baby doing the what was it, Boogeyman and bringing out the Megan lookalike?
I think it was trash.
I wasn't even paying attention to it, bro.
I think it was kind of just like, for what, sir?
Yeah, I stopped paying attention to the baby after a while ago, bro. I'm like, it's
Same. Same.
I have no comment on that because I'm not even paying attention to homeboy no more, man. It's as we just talked about before, like he
too
can't
far
get
gone.
up out of his own way. So anyway, well, we're gonna close on this subject then. We got to talk about this guy. And I really want to like get on my soapbox, and I don't want to go antagonistic, but I feel as though I am. But
come on,
when we talk about the way that people have gone viral or how they've gotten big based on who they are and the content that they've dropped, it's very important for us to always continue to drop positive content. But there are those who have gotten famous because of negative content that they've gotten, and it's also really, really just eye-opening just to see how very much of a toxic person they are. For those who are wondering who the hell I'm talking about, I'm just gonna say this person started off by as far as content creating by, of course, talking about Chirac and doing documentaries on that and kind of quote unquote exposing Chicago's gun problem or gang problem. Excuse me, let me not say gun problem, exposing the gang problem. But also taking advantage of that and being negative to the culture in general. He was also included on Everyday Struggle with Joe Budden, even has his own podcast, and has also been included on the Fresh and Fit podcast, who you have heard us slander multiple times on this podcast. A lot of people say that he used to be a DJ, but I don't know if he really is or not. I don't know. But I really don't want to call him by this name anymore because, again, y'all know how I feel about a certain person. If I don't like a person, then I'm not gonna go out of my way to call them by their stage name, or anything like that.
Redacted.
So, yes, yeah. I'm not even gonna do redacted. I'm gonna call him by his government.
Oh, shit.
And I'm bringing it. Yeah, it's Mr. Livingston Allen.
Oh shit, we done got
or Akademiks. For those who really want to know who that is, but Mr. Livingston Allen.
I gotta hear you say it one time. What's Mag Dog 2020?
Oh, Mogan David.
There you go. the Mogan David of this conversation, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed. So, Mr. Allen, I know that you probably will never hear this podcast, but if you happen to come across this podcast, I just want to make something clear. You are very toxic to the culture, sir. I know a lot of people big you up because you speak your mind and whatnot, but when you talk out of your ass, it is very clear. You are the same age as me, sir, and yet you don't have any respect for this culture like we do. And I say that for the simple fact is that you decided to get on Twitch and talk trash about the hip hop greats and how they look dusty or they may not have a lot of money. And that's the one downfall about hip hop culture, is that we have now grown accustomed to people being flashy and people showing off their bread and whatnot, that we attribute hip hop culture to, oh, if you don't look a certain way, if you don't flash a certain amount of money out in the open and whatnot, then you not about your business or you not getting the bag or anything like that. We understand that the pioneers of hip hop don't get the credit nor the money that they did because they did not have the resources that we have now as far as getting into the industry and making the money that we can make now. They didn't have the managers. They didn't have people out there in A&R to help them with their talent. They didn't have the record labels behind them. They didn't have any of this in the 80s. Shoot,
Or the
go back further
contract.
in the 70s. Like the contracts weren't the way that they are. The contracts might have been even worse. They didn't have that label
definitely.
backing. But to see him go and insult the greats like that really, really pissed me the fuck off. Excuse me. And so it's just really clear that this, every time we talk about this, man, it's never about anything good. Akademiks never talks about anything good and has never been a positive influence on this culture. Yes, we know how devastating hip hop culture can be. We know just how toxic it can be, and we know that there are certain things in hip hop culture that are detrimental to the culture itself. But Akademiks, my friend, my guy, what you are doing on stream and what you are doing on your podcast is not positive at all. And it just shows that all you are is a clout chaser and somebody who just wants to speak his opinion just because he can, without any knowledge or without doing any research or anything like that. I'm glad LL Cool J got on social media and taught this lesson to him. I'm glad he got in that ass. Pause. And granted, you know, he's still, Akademiks still decided that he was going to mouth off at him because of that. But truth be told, we know that you can't take any kind of criticism whatsoever.
But
and
I mean,
it
it's
shows
fair
that
to say
he's got soft skin, and he's like, he doesn't have he just really doesn't have any knowledge about this culture anyway, because he'll be quick to slander those who are old school and whatnot, but would big up some artists who ain't even gonna last 10 seconds. So
here's my take on that. I personally feel like, you know, what's his name is he's bold enough to say this through a mic. He's bold enough to say this on social media. But if he was really in front of these greats,
he wanted us. Oh nah, I was.
If he was really,
right.
let's be real about it. Like, let's be real about it, because the hip hop greats that we know of really was really about that. Was really about that. So if he was to really ever come across them, I feel like it would have been a different story. Like, no, my bad, dude. Like, it really wasn't even like that. Like, oh no, it was. Like, let's be real.
I feel like,
I mean, again, he's
like
the Trump. He's the Trump of the, I don't want to say DJ world, because I haven't seen him DJ, but like, he is a Trump. Like, all publicity is good publicity, whether it's negative or positive.
Go
I
ahead,
just feel
Sam.
like he fails to realize that the artists that he's talking about literally created this art form. Like, you're talking about the creators of hip hop. You're saying that they're dusty, like no one supports them. Like, they came up in a time frame where hip hop was not prominent. Nobody was checking for hip hop.
Exactly.
They literally had to create an art form, push it to the mass media, and get them to accept it. These are pioneers. You're talking about great. So for you to say something disrespectful like that,
go ahead.
Literally would not have a job without these people and what they did before him. So for him to say something so disrespectful, as if these artists wasn't putting in the time. I'm talking about putting in the time. We didn't have everything we have to push music now. They didn't have that back then. These men was shelling out CDs, cassettes in the back of the truck, trying to get popping, trying to go into radio stations, giving money, giving tapes, trying to get them to play stuff on the radio. These people were putting the time in. So for you to say something, that's just mad disrespectful from my point of view.
I mean, I view it the same way. I watched the James Brown documentary with
Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, and Chadwick, like, yo, Chadwick won. Great. I swear, I'm sad that, like, I'm hope he's resting in all the power that he can, because he played that role. But like to see like again, like I learned new things from watching that documentary myself. Like it was different even back then. You know what I'm saying? You got to go and put out a cassette tape and hope that it or an 8-track, mind you, to to like 15 different surrounding radio stations and hope that they rock with it and put it on the air. You know what I'm saying? You speaking on people who literally have bled, sweat, and you know, like shed tears just to make sure that their vision actually came to fruition. And then you want to go and discredit them and say that their work may not have been what it was supposed to be. Man, who were you to say that? Like, that's just like me saying like somebody who done slaved over a stove for 8 hours to create a meal for 20 plus people to eat. And you, the rice could have had a little bit more science. You know what I'm saying?
It wasn't all that good. It was
wasn't all
mediocre.
that. I mean, I'm full, but it could have been a little bit better.
You feel me? Like,
Mhm.
who are you? Like, okay, so next time you show up at 6 a.m. to make my, you know what I'm saying? to bring forth the creation that I put before you. Like, I'm never going to discredit anybody who has gone through the means to actually establish themselves and to be forefront.
But I will say this: DJ Akademiks knows what to say to get everyone riled up. He knows what to say. He knows what to do. He knows how to act, so he can constantly stay in the limelight. He's doing what a lot of folks do: bash our community just to get propelled forward. And that's the type of personality where I'm like, bro, in order for you to propel yourself, if you got to see somebody else's downfall, is it worth all that?
He might not be a DJ, but he's a hell of an actor.
Oh, nah, facts.
My guy put
facts.
time in. You hear me? He put time in.
Yeah. To comment on Mr. Livingston Allen again, the one thing that I will say is that, I mean, it's not that he wasn't telling the truth, because unfortunately, again, the hip hop pioneers, they don't have a lot. And that's just because, again, at the time that they were creating hip hop there was not all of these avenues that were open for hip hop artists. So I do respect the fact that, yes, we do need to do something for our old heads and for our pioneers, so that way they can continue to, you know, live and be healthy. But at the same time, there's a way that you say that without being so goddamn disrespectful. Again, excuse my language, but it just really, really bothered me that the way that he said it.
I just feel like the way that he was saying it as if they didn't do enough to make that money. When we as people and of the culture know that they've done more than enough, it's just they weren't appreciated as much. Exactly. So I feel like because of the way he voiced it and he said it, it makes it seem like their work was null and void. They didn't work hard. They was doing measly shows here and there, when these folks was traveling, introducing folks to a whole new genre. You have to realize at that time that genre wasn't even being broadcast during the Grammys. Like, they refused to show who was winning the hip hop award at the Grammys.
Hip hop awards didn't even get introduced into the Grammys until the 90s. So, and then also to your point, major tours were not held by hip hop artists until Bad Boy did like their first tour in 97. Like, they would go perform at different venues across the country and whatnot, but hip hop was not known for doing national or international tours until that Bad Boy tour. So it's really just crazy that we would get comments like that, and that's a part of another discussion that I'll have off camera. But it's just really
also
crazy.
Crazy that, like, nowadays the artists that were popular back then, or the pioneers then, are literally having to tour now, because now is the time that people are actually able to see them.
Yes, that's
the crazy part about it. So these people are putting in time, so he can two-step somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't really want to talk about this clown that much anymore, because it just seems that, as you said, he likes to say things that knows how to rile up a crowd, and that gives him his publicity.
I mean, he thrives off of it. So.
Yeah, and we all know that his crowd is those white incels, or those people who just want to have something negative to say about everything at any point in time, and try to big him up. And I mean, he really just gets all of his, I guess, revenue based on, I guess, numbers and trying to figure out, who, what people sell in the first week and shit like that. That's pretty much how he makes his revenue now, because he's an information feeder. But in general, nah, he can go all the way somewhere with that. I don't want to tell anybody that they can, go to hell, because I don't have that kind of power. But I sure do hope that somebody punches this man in the mouth.
Hey, what they say, kick rocks and eat dirt.
Mm-hmm. Just one time, yo. He just needs to get hit one time, and that'll be good, and I'll be satisfied. But anyway, I think it's a good time to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope that to our listeners, you enjoyed today's conversation. We really talked about a lot of things that we could actually talk about even more, but for the sake of time, of course, we're going to go ahead and sign off. So before we do, are there any Black business highlights that anybody wants to share?
Dang, you beat me. I was gonna try to talk about Ime and how he fumbled the bag, but we can leave that.
Who fumbled the bag? Oh, Udoka. Ime Udoka. Oh. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Give us our final note on that.
Final note. Look, I'm not justifying anything that man has done. But sir, be smart.
You got him with that, Abra. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. You had the hottest chick.
The hottest, okay?
Thank you.
Wearing your chain.
No, capital fumbled. T, capital H, capital E. The hottest in the industry. And you fumbled it over a smooth hair.
Like, you know how many songs are written about her? Bro. You literally could be like, yeah, I had that. And
the definition of goofy.
My guy is a clown. Go to the circus, big dog.
I wish I had a face palm smack like on the soundboard just to smack like stupid.
I may put something in there. I may put a clip in there because, bruh, yeah, he is absolutely stupid.
You fucking income fucking.
How do you fumble that, and then on top of that, you put your job in jeopardy by doing that? Like, so you literally lost 2 bags.
My man cheated on the Nia Long with a coworker, big dog.
The finest, okay? Let's not.
Okay, you messed up your relationship and your job all in one. How stupid?
The Nia Long, like what? Do you know how many people would bend over backwards, break bones, and some more shit? Like, what?
Yeah, I know. I would.
Talk about it. Okay, really the flyest female.
Look, I'm not saying we gotta have a donkey of the day, but shit, shout out to Charlamagne, because the donkey of the day goes to Ime. You are goofy,
bro. I can't stress enough just how stupid this man is. Like, and then I read like the article on like why they how it led to his suspension, and pretty much he had said some off the wall comment to his coworker, and then it ended up being into this scandalous relationship. Now, mind you, it was consensual, but it's like, bro, you said some off the wall shit to her, then decided to get into a relationship with her, and now not only did you lose Nia Long, but then you also got suspended for a whole year. You went from coaching the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals to sitting down for a whole year, and now we don't even know if you're gonna be back next year.
Nope, probably not. Get him out of there. He's done. Stick a fork in him.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. Crazy. And
you fucking
I can't.
Fucking poop.
My brothers, we got to do better, man. We got to do better, bro. Dude, I don't know. Maybe
let's spin back to that media training, bro.
Yeah.
Media training and workplace training. Because what the fuck?
I'm with you on that one, bro. And I don't know. Maybe it's just because I've never cheated, but I would never. If I had the hottest chick in the game, like that, I'm not fumbling, bro. I promise you, I'm not gonna fumble. At least not like that.
I'm waking up every day. You beautiful, my queen.
Let it be something out of my power. Yeah, let it if I lose the hottest chick in the game, let it be something that I had no control over.
You feel me? She gonna get bored with me. She gonna get tired of me telling her she pretty 24/7. Like, it's gonna be something. It ain't gonna be because I decided to go in and ladies and gentlemen, if you have not learned anything from this podcast, take care of your black woman. Boy,
in Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Well,
these niggas is stupid.
Y'all know I'm definitely gonna clip this section and post this on social media. We just gotta talk about it. I know it's been going on for like the last 3 weeks, but we just gotta get it out there. So, all right, guys. Any black business highlights that you want to talk about?
Black business, I'm gonna just say any black business that you know, go and support it. That's my plug.
Okay. Word. Shanasa? Shanasa, you there?
Un momento, por favor.
Okay. Sappy, do you have any black businesses?
I am a black business. Support me. Okay.
Facts.
Hey, what's the name of your business?
It's Scrappy Sentiments. Don't support me right now because the bitch is tired. But in the near future, if you need any custom design shirts for birthdays, any decorations, hit up my DMs on Instagram. It's Scrappy's Sentiments. Yeah. Support my black business so a girl can eat. Okay.
I hear that.
Look, I ain't no business, but support me. My birthday is on Wednesday.
Hey, that's when this episode drops. So
that's your business.
Plug.
So you are a black business.
I will drop my cash tag and all that.
Hey, I'm with it, man. We're gonna probably title part of this episode Law's birthday. So there's that.
Hey, I fuck with it.
Hey, so at any rate, is Nasa back if she wants to highlight anything? If not, we'll go ahead and we'll just
I am good.
Okay.
Y'all just stay tuned. Stay tuned because I got some stuff cooking up.
She been in the lab.
I've been in the lab.
My girl has been in the lab and I've been waiting. I've been waiting.
10-4, we're waiting.
We ready.
Y'all stay tuned. That's why I'm doing my hair now because I got
what. Hey, what's that one chick that blew up? Period. Period.
Let's not talk about her.
Listen, that's gonna be for another episode because what I got to say. Period. No,
that shit funny.
All right, so let's go ahead and sign off, guys. First and foremost, I got to give a huge shout out to Shogo High. That is the anime podcast that I am a part of. Big shout out to the squad. Shout out to my boy Johnny, to Tony, aka the Warden, and also shout out to my boy Rob J. And for the two who are taking a break, definitely shout out to Simone and to Soul. We definitely appreciate y'all. Had a wonderful episode this past Friday. I hope that you got a chance to tune in. If you didn't, be sure that you tune in every other Friday on Twitter Spaces or Spacecast, and come ready to discuss some anime or anime related and nerd related topics. Also shout out to Mike Check, Wifey, Worst Generation Pod, and Bland Anime Podcast. I am a Patreon subscriber to those three podcasts. Please be sure that you tune in for your anime consumption. You can also check out Analytical, where shit gets critical, and Dad Needs to Talk. Those are also anime podcasts that I support. Also shout out to Brutal Honesty with K Renee. You can also check out her novellas under the pen name Sedona Rose, It Mob, or Inside the Mind of a Blur. Shout out to Scuba Steve and all of them, and the Truth and Transparency Podcast. Shout out to my boy Brother X, Mr. Smith, and of course the Culture Scientist, and the session with Jay and Trey. Definitely shout out to them as well, and to the Toxic Kings, bro. I definitely appreciate you guys. For our black content creators, Black Anime, HBCU Anime, Sundari, The Geeky Gamer, Icarus Metro Comics, Studio Maho, we definitely appreciate you guys as well. And for our other black businesses, already paid by my boy Dre, KSS Brand by Christina, Cream Cosmetics by Naima, Mind Over Money by Miss Tremaine, Studio Maho again, my boys Pat and Allende, Concept Moon by my boy Keith, Strange Keith, She Designs 2, my girl Erin, Lit Wands by my girls Lauren and T, and of course H4 Creative for my girl Zenobia. Definitely be sure that you check out these content creators, these Black businesses, and of course, these Black podcasts. We have more that I'm going to be adding to the list as well, but I definitely wanted to shout out to those guys and thank you for your continued support. And shout out to, of course, all of you who've listened and tuned in today. We thank you for your continued support. We thank you for tuning in last week to our Lil Wayne episode. Again, if you have not checked it out, please be sure that you do so. And with that, let's go ahead and sign off. Be sure that you like, share, and subscribe to the Chaotic Culture Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook at the Chaotic Culture Podcast page. You can also follow us on Twitter at chaotic_culture. And you can follow us on Instagram at Chaotic Culture Pod. You can follow me, Ked the Pro. That's K3D the Pro on all social media. You can follow Law on Instagram at L.JR_96, and you can follow him on Twitter at Law96_. You can follow Sappy on all social media at Scraps14, and you can follow Miss Nasa on all social media at _CallMeNasa. Please be sure that you subscribe to our Patreon account. That is patreon.com/Chaotic Culture Pod, and you can subscribe at any of the 4 levels. It does not matter which one. We still appreciate your support. This has been another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. Until next time, folks, remember, embrace the culture, chaos rules. Be blessed, be safe, God is love. Deuces.
Peace.
One.
Look, it's chaos in these streets, so let's talk about it, please. Let's hold some conversation. You see where I'm coming from. Yes, it's so amazing. Go ahead, get comfortable. You can grab a seat, take a load off your feet. Yeah, welcome to the table. We don't tell no lies over here. This ain't no fable. We just live our lives over here. We ain't no angels. We just shine our light over here. We got the power. We just showing love over here. Cause everybody needs some, yeah. And we don't